Hello, welcome back to Kimby Originals Studio. This week, we're going to check out something that I just got. It is Turner Design Gouache, and it is 18 color set. And I'm really excited. I haven't been using gouache as much as I was, and so when I get a new set, I always love, let's see, put the top over there, to make a color chart and see what the colors look like. And it's just easy when I reach for it, just not to guess. Does it really look like that color on the side? So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to look at some Turner Design Gouache, and there's 18 colors. All right, let's hit it. So I took time, I didn't do it on screen obviously, to make this little grid. And you may ask yourself, why in the world did you go to all that trouble to draw the lines, write the words? And it's because, yes, there's only 18 colors in this set, but I tend to put them in a bag and I add colors. And when I do add colors, I have to add to my chart. So that is why. Also, I tend to use these in conjunction with other mediums, and it's great to be able to just look and think, oh, where's that color that I love so much? And you can just look at the chart. So here we go. We're going to start with the violet first, and I'm just putting it on the tip of my brush, which may be a little wasteful, but I hated putting it on a palette. And I'm going to go over here where it says violet, and I'm laying it down. It's nice and thick, which I love. And I'm doing enough so that when I go back and look, I can see it. So there's the violet, okay? So the next one is the rose. Oh, it's rose violet, so I need to add that word with it. I rinse off my brush really good and dab it. And we need to add rose violet. Okay. And then again, I wonder if this is going to be as pink as the ring around the... See, there's the difference. The ring around the thing, and then you look at this. It's not very far off, actually. I should have gotten a short handle. I got a long handle. I have to keep going around the camera, which cracks me up. And again, it's thick. Don't forget this brush was wet. And this is rose violet, which is very pretty. Okay. Now, the exciting thing is the difference between the permanent red and the permanent scarlet. I would normally go for grab the permanent red thinking I was going to have red, but I think we're going to see that it has got a lot of brown tint to it. So here is the permanent red. And now that's a big difference. See where the color on the brush is much brighter than the color on the tube. So let's, and it's a deep, deep, deep red. It's very pretty, actually. For those of you who haven't used gouache, it's beautiful. It's thick, thicker than watercolor, but not as thick as acrylic, or some acrylic. And it's super easy to use. It's not as dull as people think that it can be. It can be actually, I like bright colors. So this is the permanent scarlet. So that's a big difference. This is much brighter, and look, it's not nearly as orange as the tube has it looking. So that is the very reason why I do this, just to see the difference before I get into it. All right, the next one is permanent orange. Okay, this permanent orange, it looks kind of like a light orange. Ooh, it's a little more runny than the others. And it's coming out of the tube runny, not just on my brush runny. So let's see. Yeah. Eek. All right, let me make sure I'm spread out so that that imposter red is not going into the orange. Darn it. Here's where I wish I had gotten a Q-tip out, but I didn't. Okay, that'll sort of stop it a little bit. But you can see up close, there you go, where, you know, definitely orange, reddy orange, red, and then you get into that rose and then the violet. So we're heading into the yellows now. And we're going to do the yellow ochre, which I think is such a great color. I'm trying to do this in front of the screen and look at it at the same time. Okay, this one looks like it's about the same as the tube, right? So this is yellow ochre, exactly how I expected it to be. But it's nice and thick. I love it. All right, I switched to a shorter handle brush, so now I can maneuver around the camera when I'm trying to do this. All right, so this is the permanent yellow deep. I don't know why they felt they had to put deep on there, but here we go. And this is beautiful. Look at that. I don't even love yellow, but this is really pretty. I love how thick it is. It's just so yummy. So yummy. All right, so that's the yellow. Now we have permanent lemon. Okay, permanent lemon looks like, where is it? Right there. So let's see if it's just as brilliant. Yeah, it almost looks fluorescent actually. So let's see what we got. That's beautiful. And again, y'all, it's very thick. Very, very thick. All right, I'm going to change my water now. So we're almost halfway through. I've got the permanent green light. And as it comes out of the tube, it looks very similar to what's on the outside. Let's see what it looks like on the paper. And again, do you see how beautiful that is? It's so nice. So nice. It's nice and smooth and buttery, which if you're trying to do a piece where you really don't want that watercolor look, but you want something just a little thicker, but you don't want to use acrylics, it's it. Okay, this is the permanent green mid right here. So, and it's coming out pretty darn close to the tube. And again, you can see how thick it is. I'm making a good little swatch. Rinsing it off really good so it's clean before we get into Viridian. Viridian looks like this. And we put it on the brush. It looks pretty darn close again to the side. Viridian is got a little more blue in it than the permanent green mid. So there you go. Looks like the Caribbean when it's really, really deep out there. All right. Next we have turquoise. We are 2/3 through, people. All right, turquoise looks like this. Let's see what it looks like on the brush. It's beautiful. Just really very yummy, very luscious. Oh, it's making me want to go to the beach, the Caribbean, anywhere tropical. We've had some cold, wet days this year, which is good for the water. All right, next we are going to move over to the next side of the palette, the last 6. And this one is sky blue. And I always wonder why they say sky blue, because I look out at the sky and most days, I can't get this out of the tube. This is super thick, y'all. I wonder why they say sky blue, because most days when I look out at the sky, it's like almost white. So sky blue is pretty intense, but it's beautiful. All right, we're moving on to our last 2 blues. This is cobalt blue, and it is a little bit darker, a little more enriched. And again, if I were reaching for navy, that's cobalt blue to me always looks a little different than navy for sure. But I wouldn't have expected this cobalt to be quite so rich. So again, that's the good reason to do this. All right, now we're doing Prussian blue. My brush is a little stained. There's no paint on it. Okay. And this, my friends, is super, super dark blue. You can almost use it as a black stand-in. That is rich, super rich. I have to say, I know there's lots of brands of gouache out there, but this is my 3rd pack of Turner, and they never ever disappoint. Okay, this one is burnt sienna. Okay, burnt sienna. And there we go. Nice, thick. Again, another beautiful, rich color. And we're going to do a jet black. Jet black. And I try not to use black until my paintings are done, because my mid color, I always try to get out there first. And if I can get away with using like a Prussian, can't even say it, blue, I do, honestly. All right, I don't know if my brush is so wet or if it's the paint that's coming out. All right, there we go with my brush. And jet black. And you know, there's a lot of different blacks, aren't there? There's Mars, there's Onyx, there's so many different colors, for heaven's sakes. All right, oddly enough, you know, we've gone from all these colors to the darkest color, and we're going to end with white. And you may think, well, why in the world do you have to do white? Well, there's all different kinds of whites. A lot of whites are yellow whites. And I want to see how white this is. So this is white. Hopefully you can see this. It really is white. It's about the same color as the brush. Okay, and then I also always buy a tube of the Turner Design gouache. This is a Lumi white. That is a permanent white. Let's see what Lumi white is beside it. Go up and down. See, there's where you can see the difference right there. Lumi white is just a cold. This is a cold white, and this is a warm white. Do you see the difference? Can you feel the difference? People always ask me, what the heck are you talking about? Well, warm white would have like more of the yellows in there to tint it, and this would have more cool colors, blues and whatever in it to tint. So there is my Turner Design gouache. I'm super excited. I think we're going to do a painting using these the set next time we meet up next Wednesday. So if you don't mind, please give me a thumbs up. It helps with my channel. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next Wednesday in the studio. Thanks. Bye.